Well, hello, good morning. How's everything going today? I'm going to start this recording with the lymphocytes. I know it kind of got weird and cut off on the last video, so I apologize for that. I was first time using that particular video recording for my computer. So here we go. Here are the lymphocytes again. Remember that the lymphocytes, like monocytes, are agranulocytes, but lymphocytes are much, much smaller. They're about the same size as red blood cells, which make them the smallest white blood cells that are in our blood. The nucleus of the lymphocyte is round and large, and it takes up almost all of the cell volume. And 25 to 33% of white blood cells are going to be lymphocytes in a blood sample. Okay, I think this is when things got strange on the last recording. The function of the lymphocytes is to protect us from disease. They move out of blood vessels in that process called diapedesis. And once lymphocytes are in the intestinal fluid, they act like amoebas. Okay, they can stretch themselves out and go engulf things. They can extend extremes of cytoplasm arms, which are called pseudopods, and they reach out and they grab bacteria and foreign debris and stuff like that. And they find infection. They sense chemicals released by invading microorganisms, and will damage those cells so that they protect our body cells. Once the lymphocyte finds the microorganism by sending out that pseudopod, it will move itself around and engulf the bacteria or spore or whatever it might be by phagocytosis. Okay. The primary cells for phagocytosis are neutrophils and monocytes. And neutrophils are mobile and usually arrive first at the site of infection, and monocytes are very, very large and active too. Their large size allows for phagocytizing whole cells and a large number of bacteria. And you can go and watch this YouTube video so you can see the process underneath a microscope. I encourage you to do that after we're done with this. You can go to that video right there. When more white blood cells arrive to the site at a site of infection, they form a collection of living, dead, and broken cells and plasma, which is called pus. But it's not only phagocytosis that combats disease, okay? There are highly specific proteins produced by lymphocytes called antibodies, and these act against foreign particles and toxins that enter the body. And the production of antibodies is part of the immunity. Okay, you can see here these antibodies are attaching as they're there. This being a monocyte right here, and this being a neutrophil. All right, and all of these antibodies have come in as they have been dispatched, if you will, to come and attach themselves to the site of the infection. All right, the next part of our blood, the platelets. The platelets, also known as the thrombocytes, are responsible for clotting of the blood. They form elements that are fragments of complex cells. During the development in red bone marrow, they are formed when a large precursor cell breaks apart. And the small fragment platelets are released into the bloodstream for I'll go back for a second. For circulation. Larger fragments are broken down further to form more platelets in the blood, and each platelet contains cytoplasm surrounded by the plasma membrane. Platelets themselves do not have a nucleus, but most organelles are found in their cytoplasm. They're about the 10th of the size of a regular red blood cell, and their shape is a round or oval disc. Your body has 150,000 to 360,000 platelets per cubic millimeter. In a normal blood sample, they are less numerous than red blood cells. The prevention of fluid loss is their responsibility. They initiate the formation of blood clots, which plugs up the breaks in the blood vessel wall after an injury. Okay, so you can kind of see this little illustration right here. The platelets will go and clog the hole, and then the other immune response will get started in fixing the injury.